of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are NC.
The Royals began the season with 3 outfielders coming off career worst seasons. Now, with less than 2 weeks to play, the Royals have arguably the best outfield in the game, both on offense and on defense. A 4-game series with Chicago begins tonight on Fox Sports Kansas City. Two teams heading in opposite directions will hook up at Kauffman Stadium tonight. The Royals have won their last 4 games. The White Sox have lost their last 4. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals are finishing strong in the final month of the season, and the outfield continues to make big plays. And Royals Hall of Famer Frank White is down on the field with Royals outfield coach Doug Sisson.
The 1969 Royals had 53 assists. That's a club record. Right now, your outfield is sitting on 50 assists, and with 25 of those being at home plate, which I think is phenomenal. As far as when you watch your guys charge balls and get rid of balls, what is the teaching points on being able to charge a base hit and be able to get rid of the ball at the quickest possible moment?
The biggest thing for us, number one, is try to cut down the distance between us and the base that we're throwing to.
Okay.
So I think that's where the play's made. I think some guys tend to rely on their arm strength, but we want to come and charge the ball as hard as we can. When we get to the ball, break down under control, but never lose our momentum. And I think if we can cut 20 feet off the distance between us and the base that we're throwing to, whether it be second, third, or home plate, by going to the ball hard, that's the most important thing.
But your outfielders have been able to play the ball off the wall on one hop. They back each other up well off the wall. And how do you attribute that to your philosophy?
Number one, playing the ball off the wall, there's an art to it. And again, that goes back to early work and spring training and making it important. You know, I've always thought if we make it important to the players will treat it importantly. And if we don't work on something a lot, then they immediately think it's unimportant. So that was something that we did a lot in spring training. Now, when we go to different ballparks on the road, we'll familiarize ourselves with the wall. But you hit the nail on the head. It's all about teamwork and backing each other up. And you have a lot more confidence trying to make a play off the wall if you know that your outfielder that's next to you in the outfield is going to stay on the grass. That's number one thing. If we're going after a ball, we go after it aggressively. Once we figure out the spot we're running to and we think the wall's going to come into play, we take a quick peek, running full speed at the wall, so we got a pretty good idea where we're going to get to and when we're going to get to the wall, and then we go back and focus on the ball.
Well, this has been Doug Sisson on his philosophy of outfield play, and we've seen this year that it does work with these guys. They're having an outstanding year. So back to you, Ryan.
All right, thank you, Frank and Doug. Well, 2 nights ago, we asked you to rank Jeff Francoeur's best plays of the year. Tonight, it's Melky Cabrera, and we'll be right back. Royals baseball is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. When you play, students win. Melky Cabrera maybe made his first great catch of the year on April 14th at Kauffman Stadium. Justin Smoke was the victim. The very next month against the Baltimore Orioles, Robert Andino at the plate. Melky going into left center field to make this play. Then interleague play at St. Louis. Lance Berkman thought he had a home run to center field. Melky brought it back in. That's play number 3. And then in the just completed Minnesota series, Danny Valencia is the victim of another great Melky Cabrera play. So, in our Sprint You Call It question for tonight, what is Melky's best catch? Text 432-432, enter keyword Royals, followed by A, B, C, or D. What was Mark Burley's best game against the Royals? Well, you have 50 to choose from over his career. It'll be the 4th time this year the Royals see the veteran Mark Burley. Royals and the White Sox, and the first pitch is next. Stadium in high definition, brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Get no fee HD with digital TV from Time Warner Cable. Here's the White Sox lineup tonight against Jeff Francis.
Juan Pierre will be leading things off for the White Sox, and Paul Konerko. It'll this will be his 6th consecutive 100 RBI season.
And with that, we are ready to go. And Juan Pierre taking strike 1 from Jeff Francis. Francis making his final start of the season tonight. 177 innings pitched. Pierre, very good bunter, lays one down. Navarro makes a nice play. Got Pierre by a full step.
Let me take a look at Juan Pierre. This is a nice bunt off his bat. Navarro comes in, make a nice play. You can see where Eric Hosmer really hanging there, made a nice play. If you look at defense, the Royals outfielders are doing an outstanding job out there. And on the infield, Michael Navarro making his 5th start at third base in place of Mike Moustakas. And final start for Jeff Francis. in 2011.
Royals defense presented by Ram Trucks. Alexei Ramirez with one out and nobody on. This is the White Sox 4th game against Jeff Francis this year. 1 ball, 1 strike. Francis 0-1 in the 3 starts, and twice he was the victim of a blown save. Two balls and 1 strike. Chicago White Sox have lost 4 in a row, and after losing to Detroit yesterday, Ozzie Guillen saying it was embarrassing the way his team is playing. Tim Cheat at first base says that Ramirez is safe on a good play and a good throw by Alcides Escobar.
Well, this is just a continuation play. Navarro makes a dive for it. Alcides makes the adjustment. It's a good play on both sides.
Well, for now, that's an error on Yamaiko Navarro. Wow.
Well, one thing about diving for a ball, it's kind of hard to always come up with it. You just want to try to knock it down if possible when it's hit hard left or hard right, and that's a tough one right there.
You might want to write that one down in pencil. 56 degrees at first pitch. Can you believe it? Game started at 7:10. Time and temp brought to you by the Parking Spot. Easy to spot, easy to park. The Parking Spot at KCI. No balls and 2 strikes on Paul Konerko. A disappointing year for the White Sox, but another good year for Paul Konerko, leading the White Sox in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. He is 1 home run away from his 5th 30 home run, 100 RBI season. 1-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Konerko with 3 of his home runs and 9 RBIs against the Royals this year. He has 36 home runs, 130 RBIs against the Royals in his career. That's the 3rd most RBIs of any player ever against the Royals.
Well, you got to stay healthy, you got to put the games in, but you also have to be a pretty good hitter, and that's what Paul Konerko is.
Out at second, and a double play. So Navarro was busy, and in the end, Francis faces only 3. First time this year, and here's a look at Ned Yost's lineup against Mark Burley.
Well, hot-hitting Alex Gordon will be leading things off. 4 of his last 5 games have been multi-hit. The top 5 guys have been impressive offensively in the Royals lineup.
Mark Burley, 32 years old, 159 career wins. And this is his 51st appearance against the Royals. 11-8 this year with a 3.58 ERA. He has been hit hard in his previous 2 starts. And he gets Alex Gordon to jump on the first pitch. And it's Alex Rios in center field to make the play. So 1 down, Melky Cabrera comes to the plate. And let's go to Joe Goldberg.
Well, you guys are talking about Melky Cabrera, and obviously we'll have some choices to make as far as his great defensive plays go. But what a career year, guys, it's been for him. As we see him come to the plate right now, we know what he's done in center field. He's got 137 starts in center field this year, but he's got the 2nd highest batting average of any qualifying center fielder in the American League after Jacoby Ellsbury. 2nd most hits, 2nd most doubles. And as for that career year, a high in average hits, doubles, homers, runs, RBIs, stolen bases, at-bats, and starts in center field, guys.
1 ball, 2 strikes. We showed you 4 of his best plays this year on defense, and we want you to vote on which one is the best. April 14th against Justin Smoke and the Seattle Mariners. Robert Andino lost a hit on May 3rd. Lance Berkman lost a home run to Melky Cabrera in St. Louis. And then Danny Valencia losing an extra base hit a couple of nights ago. The Minnesota Twins. Joel, let's start with you tonight.
Well, I'm going to go with the one in St. Louis. Or, how about that?
Deep left center field, and Melky hits his 18th home run of the year. Ball 1 to Billy Butler.
Well, when you got a pitcher's number, you really got it. And Melky Cabrera has done an outstanding job his career versus Mark Burley. 565 against Burley, and it comes out tonight and continues that streak.
2nd career home run against Mark Burley. And now 2 balls and 1 strike on Billy Butler. Joel, you want to finish the thought on Melky's defense?
Did that home run kind of go near where that one he caught against St. Louis, back in St. Louis? I was going with the one against the Cardinals because it was a nice catch, as we see Billy with the hit up the middle. But what I also liked about that catch is I think it was the first time that we really saw some of the fun side of Melky's personality.
Just fastball right down the middle, and I think Melky knew right away he got enough of that one. Good concentration. Had to reach just a little bit to give you an idea how strong he is, but the ball jumps off his bat very well. You see Rios goes back to the wall, but the ball's out of the ballpark.
And Burley's been around long enough to know when he's made a mistake, and he didn't even bother to watch that ball. He just dropped his head as soon as Melky made contact. So Billy Butler at first with 1 out, and Eric Hosmer, who's had an excellent September at the plate. And he drives that into right center, but Viciedo is there. So another hard hit out for Eric Hosmer, 2 down in the first. So here are the choices for you. April 14th, Justin Smoke of the Seattle Mariners, Melky's victim. Robert Andino of the Baltimore Orioles on May the 3rd here at Kauffman Stadium, and Melky going into left center field. One strike on Jeff Francoeur, the play we were talking about in St. Louis. Lance Berkman losing a home run perhaps on June 18th. And then just a couple of nights ago, Melky took a base hit away from Danny Valencia going into right center field. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike to Jeff Francoeur. It's tough to argue with taking a home run away from a hitter.
Well, you're right. You're right about that. But that one, just from a degree of difficulty standpoint, didn't seem to be as difficult as the catch the other night that he made going into right center field. That would be the one that I would go with.
Francoeur walks to put 2 on with 2 out. And we'll look at the Chicago White Sox on defense tonight, presented by Ram Trucks.
And a rookie in right field, Diane Viciedo is rookie in right field. They really like him a lot. And Gordon Beckham, top AL fielding second baseman in the American League. And Mark Burley, 2010 Gold Glove winner, good fielder on the mound.
2 on, 2 out to Johnny Giavotella, who finished the last road trip 0 for his last 16, but had a 2-hit game against Minnesota on Tuesday night. Ended up with 2 RBIs in the series. Burley misses 1-1. Giavotella is facing Burley for the first time. In on the knuckles and into shallow right field. Butler coming around third and now holding. And that was a good call. Viciedo did not have a long throw to make. So it's a bloop single, and the Royals have the bases loaded with 2 outs.
Well, Burley throws his cutter in on Giavotella's hand, and he's strong enough to get this ball out into right field, just over second base in the right field. So that's strength right there. He pulls the hands in, and you can see how high on the bat the ball hit. And Viciedo came up aggressively on this throw, and Konerko made a nice cut. Nice cut on that play.
And now Salvador Perez will face Burley for the first time. And he takes ball 1. Perez has hit an 8 in a row. Came up with 3 more hits in the 2-game Minnesota series and still batting above 300. And that's through the right side. Butler scores. Francoeur held at third as Viciedo makes another strong throw. And it's a 2-run first inning for the Royals. A 9-game hitting streak for Salvador Perez as he drives in his 12th run.
Well, we saw him do this last night, take a ball away and hit it off the right field wall. And now tonight he does a good job of staying back, letting the ball travel, and really attacking the ball to right field and not trying to guide it over there. He was able to get himself a base hit and an RBI.
And now strike 2. Yamaiko Navarro, and the Royals want to get a look at him at third base before the season is over. Only 11 more games after tonight. So Mike Moustakas gets the night off. And Navarro into shallow left field. Juan Pierre coming up to get it. And it's a 2-run first for the Royals against Burley. Royals baseball is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. By Panera Bread Catering. Order online at PaneraKansas.com. And by Chevy. See your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. A chilly night, 56 degrees at first pitch. And the Royals with 2 in the first against Mark Burley. So Jeff Francis has the lead. Francis had the lead in his last start Friday at Seattle, 2-0, and then allowed 2 runs in the bottom of the first. Mariners scored in 3 of 4 innings against Francis. And Jeff knocked out after just 3 1/3 innings. It's Alex Rios to pop out to shallow right, and it's Frank Coor avoiding Johnny Giavotella, 1 away. Game 2 is tomorrow, and it's our final Fireworks Friday as the Royals take on the White Sox at 7:10. It's also Futures Night. Royals top minor league prospects will be at Kauffman Stadium for an autograph session. That's at Gate A from 5:30 to 6:15. And a curveball is in for a strike to A.J. Pierzynski. Last time the Royals and White Sox hooked up, the Royals put A.J. Pierzynski on the disabled list for the first time in his career. Think about that. He first got to the big leagues in 1998. He is a big league catcher, so the grind that comes with that, all the foul balls, all the collisions, and he had never been on the disabled list. Bruce Chen hit him on the left wrist and broke his left wrist back on the 16th of August.
Yeah, I talked to him before the game. He said it still feels like it's broke. He said he said it took so long to heal. He thought it would be more of a 6-week type situation, but it's been longer. And he said it's still not to that comfortable spot, but he's able to go out there and try to play. But like you saw that graphic, only 167 since he's returned from the disabled list.
Got a hanging breaking ball, and it's a deep but foul. And I'm sure this cold weather isn't helping out.
Oh, whew, you're right about that.
And Pierzynski is in there tonight as the designated hitter. Adam Dunn continues to struggle through his first year with the White Sox. And a ground ball past Navarro. Pierzynski has a 1-out single.
The thing about AJ is you really, one thing you can predict is he's going to put the ball in play. You don't always know where it's going, but he does hit the ball that direction very well. And he takes the fastball out over the plate. He hits a shot in the left field on the ground.
A strike to Diane Viciedo. Royals are seeing him for the first time this year. Broke his right thumb in spring training, was hit by a pitch, so he started the year on the disabled list and then spent most of the season in the minor leagues. 0-2.
Well, I talked to hitting coach Greg Walker about him in batting practice, and you saw right there what Greg's talking about. Swinging it a little long. He's very aggressive, and they're just trying to get him a little bit better balance, shorten the swing a little bit, but he's not able to make that adjustment at this point. And the hitting coach Greg Walker just told me today that this is a guy they really like, and they think that they're really going to be able to shorten his swing and to make him a very productive hitter.
Royals saw him last year at third base, and he's worked hard to be able to move to the outfield, and he's in right field tonight. Carlos Quentin, the White Sox regular right fielder, was just off the disabled list. Problems with his left shoulder. Struck him out. The first tonight for Jeff Francis. 2 down in the second inning, and And we remind you to look for the Miller Lite Taste Greatness moments later in tonight's game. Francis making his final start of the season. Royals wanted to keep him right around 180 innings. Last year, his first year since the shoulder operation, he only went 119 innings. And his season was over by August the 19th last year. Trying to win for the first time since August 25th when he won at Toronto. That was 4 starts ago. And it is 0-2 on Tyler Flowers, a 209 hitter who has just won for his last 18.
Outstanding changeup by Jeff Francis. That just goes down. That's what he wants his changeup to do. Just get out over the plate and just take a dive.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Francis really with a good combination right now of changeups down in unhittable spots and fastballs up in unhittable spots.
As long as they're going to chase that fastball up, that's what you want to do as a lefty. But you get them to chase the soft stuff down underneath their swing, and then when they do see that fastball, they haven't seen it for a while, and all of a sudden they can't hold up on it. And that's what makes him and Bruce Chin so comparable when they pitch. They pitch alike in a lot of ways. Only Bruce has the different arm angles to give him a little bit more deception.
Just missed outside with a changeup. I would think the scouting report against Jeff Francis is look for a pitch that is up in the zone, but right now he is going higher than high. So they're seeing the pitch up, and it's close to their eye level, but there's nothing they can do with it.
And it doesn't have that 95 mile an hour on it, so it looks good to them. So they think they can catch up to it, but they really can't. So that, normally if you face a guy like Jeff Francis, you try to take the soft stuff away and try to force him to throw fastballs.
A 2-out walk to Tyler Flowers, who had been down 0-2. Bob McClure was Jeff Francis's pitching coach in the minor leagues in the Colorado Rockies system, so he was very much in favor of the Royals pursuing him during the offseason. And now he'll pitch to Brent Morrell with 2 on and 2 out. Changeup is down and away. Brent Morrell's play at third base and still developing as a big league hitter made Mark Teahen expendable and was traded away to the Toronto Blue Jays.
There's 2 things that'll make a player expendable. It's one, if that player's not hitting and you come in and hit, and then another, if that player's not playing defense and you come in and play defense and provide some offense. And I think that's what Brent Morrell was able to do that Mark Teahen wasn't able to give the White Sox, that consistent combination of offense and defense.
Perez to first, and Tyler Flowers is out. And the White Sox have officially been introduced to Salvador Perez. raising his arm for the final out of the top of the second.
Well, this is what you call a back pick at first base between the first baseman and the catcher. Usually it's a sign before the pitch, and you can see Hosmer comes in. Perez, without even getting out of his crouch, just twirls around and makes a great throw to first base.
Much to the delight of the Royals and Salvador Perez's mom, he was telling us before the game tonight that his mom is here from Venezuela. Tears in her eyes as she's been watching her 21-year-old son play in the big leagues. Alcides Escobar is out in a fly ball to center field. That's the third pickoff for Perez this year. Remember, the first two came in his big league debut, and he came within a foot, as we described it, of throwing for the cycle in his big league debut. He just missed picking off Matt Joyce of the Rays at second base in the first inning, and had he picked off Matt Joyce, he would have picked off a runner at each base in his first big league game.
Well, the game did change when he got it, when he took his position behind home plate, and he told us before the game, his mom, when she started crying, he had to tell her, "Mom, you're going to make me cry." So he was almost in tears with her.
2 down, and now Melky Cabrera coming to the plate, and it's been Melky's night so far. We've been talking about his plays on defense this year, and then he hit a home run in the first against Burley. His 18th of the year, his 82nd RBI. And in our Sprint You Call It question for tonight, we've been asking you, the fans, which is Melky's best play of the year, and 50% still going with the home run he took away from Lance Berkman in June. He is 2 for 2 with a base hit off the end of the bat. And the Royals have 5 hits in less than 2 innings against Mark Burley. So here are the plays, Frank.
Well, this is against the wall, center field. That was the one that everybody kind of liked, the fans liked. And this one here going to left center field. Robert Andino hit this one. And this is in St. Louis when it goes back to the wall. That looked pretty easy to me. That didn't look that hard. And this is my favorite right here. This is just a couple nights ago.
Ramirez fields the ground ball. Billy Butler hits into a force to end the inning. State of Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. By Thoroughbred Ford. Find the new Ford you're looking for at thoroughbredford.com. And brought to you by Moneyball in theaters September 23rd. It is sweatshirt and light jacket night, maybe even heavy jacket night before the game is over. 2-0 Royals at the top of the third inning. And Jeff Francis gets another ground ball. And Brent Morrell is out. 1 pitch, 1 away In the top of the third, joined by Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, as we're going to talk about Royals Alumni Fantasy Camp. 2 Royals Hall of Famers here, and 2 guys who are heavily involved with Fantasy Camp, so you guys just take it away.
Well, I'm going to give it to Monty because he's the most active guy. I mean, he still runs 5 miles a day, and he can pitch.
You do?
He hits. He does everything.
5 a day?
He's been doing it for 15 years.
Wow.
So we need. That's why I've been trying to get you to come to Fantasy Camp, Ryan, because guys like you and Jeff can save guys like me.
Start early. You forgot. I mean, I'm the guy that his back went out when I tried to close the windows in April.
But that was I mean, that's an accident. I mean, that's not a permanent thing.
Yeah. I was thinking about an accident when I was over here writhing in pain. But anyway.
Pry me up.
You guys love talking about Fantasy Camp, and I bring it up because I think it's important for the fans to know that are interested in Fantasy Camp that you guys are going to have as much fun as the fans will.
We do have a great time, and I think one thing that you have to be a little careful with when you talk to these guys about Fantasy Camp, they say, man, it was the greatest week I had in my whole life. And I'm like, have you ever been married? And they're like, yeah. I said, better than your honeymoon? And so be careful not to tell that one to your wife.
That's right.
You know?
That's true.
Gordon Beckham drives it into left center, and not having a very good year, but that feels a little bit better, getting a 1-out double in the third inning. Beckham batting just .228 before getting his 19th double of the season, and the White Sox have a runner at second with 1 out.
And I think another thing worth adding, Frank, as I learned today, is that if someone enrolls and participates in Fantasy Camp, they have the opportunity to buy 2 All-Star Game tickets next year. So a little bit of an incentive, a new twist on the Fantasy Camp opportunity.
Well, that's a great incentive there, and you know the fans have to, the fantasy campers know they get individual instruction too when they get there from all of us, and they get an opportunity to just sit down and talk to us and tell us their favorite stories, and they listen to us get on each other and stuff like that too. They really like that.
Had a chance to see a couple of fantasy campers in the stands a couple nights ago here at the stadium. Paul Camerata, Harold Bradley, and they were actually sending text messages back and forth to me talking about their experience in fantasy camps. So it was a lot of great memories.
You know, as we're watching some of the highlights from Fantasy Camp, and we had Dina Wathen Blevins up here yesterday, and she said the most common question that comes up for her is, well, I'm not a very good baseball player. I don't want to embarrass myself. Well, some of these highlights, these guys are falling all over the place. They got foul balls hitting off their head, and they're having a ball.
Oh, that's great.
Having a great time. And I was thinking as we were going through some of those highlights that if anybody is a barber and they want to go to Fantasy Camp, you can give Joe Randa a haircut. Juan Pierre with a base hit to left field. So first and third for the White Sox. Juan Pierre is 1 for 2. See, look at this. I mean, this guy.
Oops, forgot something there.
That guy's falling down. I mean, they're having a great time. Okay, now here's the guy you want to go to Fantasy Camp.
Oh.
Frank and Doc Carruthers laughing at me.
911.
I couldn't get past Doc.
Yeah, you really were trying, too. I can see.
Well, I couldn't tell whether you were in pain or you were laughing. I couldn't tell.
You couldn't really tell on that one.
But we need you, though. And we need the fans to come out and have a great time.
Melky making the play in center field and firing it to second base as Pierre made a move towards second. He'll hold, but Beckham will score. And it is 2-1. Alexi Ramirez drives in his 65th of the year.
And I hate to get into these 2-out stories, but I'll make this one brief. I remember, Frank, I had a chance to hear you talking about Big John, the minister who went down. He was 72 years old. Mm-hmm. And I was out on the right field line hitting fly balls to center field, and Big John gets up, and I hit the fly ball over, and Jerry Terrell's like, John, you know, are you not seeing the ball very well? And he goes, when's he going to hit it? Yeah. And Jerry says, well, you might want to move aside here, because I'm hitting fly ball after fly ball, landing right next to him, you know, and he just he doesn't even see me swing the bat yet. So any level of talent is accepted.
It's 72.
And he wore his number. Remember that? He wore number 72 because he was 72 years old.
It was great. I mean, that's how much fun these guys really have. And who can ever argue with a week in Arizona in February?
That's perfect timing, isn't it?
That's great.
Pierre runs, and Perez throw comes in on a bounce. Giavotella staying with Pierre. Had he slid past the bag, he doesn't. And Juan Pierre has 27 stolen bases. So again, as Monty just announced, if you register for fantasy camp for next year, then you have the option of buying 2, not 1, but 2 All-Star Game tickets for 2012.
I think I might register myself
There you
because
go.
I don't think we'll be broadcasting that game.
Well, the phone number for you to call is 816-504-4150.
Frank, I think another thing we've learned over the years is that we've kind of schooled the participants to work out a little bit before you go to camp, because it'll make your camp much more enjoyable. You won't be on the training table, you'll be on the field.
That's a long line to the training table after the first day or so, isn't it?
Monday's a great day. Tuesday, the first doubleheader. Wednesday, everybody loves the trainer. You walk by the training room on Wednesday, and all you smell is Flexall. Ben Gay.
And then everybody's ready to go for the championship game on Friday.
You're in the big league locker room, right? You get your own big league uniform. It's cleaned for you every day. It'll be hanging nice and clean in the locker the next day when you arrive.
Every day.
I mean, you guys would know. I mean, it's
that's
true big league experience.
They get two uniform tops, 2 different colors, and everybody wear the white pants, but you get 2 different colored jerseys. So that's pretty exciting to see when you walk in there.
Pitch gets past Perez, plays the bounce well, but Juan Pierre is up to third base on a wild pitch.
And there are a lot of memories between the white lines at fantasy camp, but what you just mentioned was when the guys walk in that clubhouse and they see their uniform hanging in their name and their number next to the guy next to them, and just to see that, the look on their face and those eyes sparkling when they see that they're a big leaguer for a week, and they really take that home, and they enjoy that opportunity to experience what players enjoy when they go to spring training camp.
Canerco grounds it to the left side. Navarro will throw him out. That's the inning. Thank you, Monty.
Thank you.
2-1 Royals to the bottom of the third. This is Beatrice Agee of Lee Summit, Missouri. She has been in retirement for a few years, but still looks for ways to educate children. She was one of the first African-American teachers in the Independent School District in 1967, and the district's first African-American principal in 1974. She spent more than 40 years at the district and sitting in the Buck O'Neill legacy seat at tonight's game and enjoying a 2-1 Royals lead as Eric Hosmer is 2 balls and 1 strike against Mark Burley, and Burley got Hosmer on a fly ball to right field in the first. Royals scored both of their runs in the first, and Chicago just scored in the top of the third. Well, here we are in September, and you always wonder about a rookie who has never played in September. Their minor league season ends at the end of August or early September, but Eric Hosmer is hitting .340 in the month of September, so he is finishing strong. Has to go get a new bat. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Let's take a look at our league leaders, brought to you by your Kansas City area Toyota dealers. Most consecutive years with at least 10 wins. Mark Burley with 11, and CC Sabathia have the longest current streaks. And Burley is working on another impressive streak as Hosmer hits it through the right side, and he has a leadoff single. Twice yesterday, Eric Hosmer led off the inning with a single against Minnesota, and both times he came around to score.
Well, the one thing that Eric Hosmer does, Ryan, he battles at the plate. He doesn't give in, and whatever he does, he's going to do it aggressively. And you can see right there, this pitch, he just goes down with it, and he's strong enough that he hit around it and pull it in the hole to right field. But that gives you the idea of what kind of strength he has. Hey, when you talk to position players about playing in September, those guys don't mind. It's just another game to them. They want to hit anyway. It's the pitchers that really have to make that big push those last 30 days.
2-0 on Frank Coor, who walked in the first inning. Talking about Burley's streak, he is the active American League leader in all these rankings, including wins against the Royals, 22 of those. So he's had the streak of at least 10 wins for 11 years. He's also moving up on 30 starts for an 11 straight year and 200 innings pitched. Right now he is the only active pitcher with 10 wins, 30 starts, and 200 innings in 10 straight years. His next start will be his 30th, and he's only about 12 innings away from 200 innings pitched. So he's going to make that 11 years in a row, the only active player with 10 wins, 30 starts, and 200 innings. And this is a 38th round draft pick. You know, the thing about his story that I don't think is talked about enough, I mean, we've seen 38th round draft picks get to the big leagues. We've seen 50th round picks, Gerard Dyson, getting to the big leagues. But he got to the big leagues the next year. He was drafted in the 38th round.
Well, he's a command pitcher, and when you're a command guy and you know how to pitch, you'll move a lot faster sometimes than the power guys. And I was looking at his numbers today, and I looked at the wild pitch column, and he has no wild pitches on the season, so that means he's really in command of the strike zone with his pitches. And the reason he gives up so many hits is that he is in the strike zone. But his defense has to play well behind him.
Giavotella pulls it to the left side. Morel, they get the out at second. No double play. So Hosmer is erased, and there are 2 outs. And when Mark Burley is on, that's what he gets, facing right-hand batters. Weakly hit ground balls to the left side. Hey, Mizzou football fans, this Saturday the Tigers take on Western Illinois, and many video providers in the area will offer this game on pay-per-view. Access your digital program guide or call your video provider to order the game today, or visit foxsportskansascity.com for details. Inside to Salvador Perez. He drove in one of the 2 runs in the first inning and has a 9-game hitting streak.
Well, Salvador has an open stance at the plate, and he likes the ball away. And he Burley, normally when he doesn't know a right-hander, he wants to run that cutter in on the hands, and he got burnt with it earlier. Giavotella got a little base hit to right field. It hurt him with it, and I think that tried to go away from Salvador. When he gets those long arms extended, he's got a lot of power to right field.
He has already had a full night in addition to driving in a run, which Frank was just talking about. That was in the first inning. He has also picked off a runner.
Yeah, and this is just about as quick as a cat right there. And I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that. I mean, just to be able to just rotate your body that way and throw that firm ball down to first base right on the. We used to say right on your toenails. That's right on his fingernail. That first base. But I was impressed yesterday when he drove that ball off the right field wall. I mean, I was really impressed with his strength. They hitting the ball that direction.
And that's hit well to left field. Juan Pierre can't chase it down. Giavatelli to third and will be held. Juan Pierre doesn't have a strong arm, but he got it back to the infield quickly. So Perez is 2 for 2 in his first 2 at-bats against Mark Burley.
This gives you a real good idea of his strength right here. This pitch was in on him, and he was strong enough to take this ball and get his hands in and drive this ball to left field. Watch how he just tucks his hands in on that. It's a strong position when he hit the ball right in that position right there. And that ball really jumped off his bat. And you see Eddie Rodriguez holding Johnny Giavatelli up at third base.
Royals might be catching Mark Burley at the right time. In his 2 previous starts, he has given up 7 earned runs in each start. Friday against Cleveland and then September 4th at Detroit. Earlier this year, he established a White Sox team record. This is pretty remarkable. He had 18 straight starts where he allowed 3 runs or less, 18 in a row, from April 27th until the middle of August. Alexi Ramirez plays the ground ball from Navarro, and that's the inning. The Royals leave 2 in scoring position. Brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Up to 50 megabits per second of pure online power. And 2 pitchers whose game is contact, not power, so they're not going to light up the radar gun, but will keep the defense busy. And Jeff Francis with just 1 strikeout, the same for Mark Burley in the first 3 innings. Alex Rios, A.J. Pierzynski, and Diane Viciedo coming up in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Rios, who flied out to right field in the 2nd inning, finishing up a very disappointing season. One and two. Looked like he had pulled it back together last year in his 2nd season with the White Sox, but has fallen back to a batting average in the 220s.
I talked to hitting coach Greg Walker about him, White Sox hitting coach, and last year when he came over from Toronto, they dropped his hands down low. and he really took off and started driving the ball. And then in spring training, he was hitting the ball well. But when the season started, it seemed that he just lost his focus, started chasing a lot of bad pitches. And now they got his hands back up, but he clearly thinks that this offseason he needs to make a whole new change to his approach to hitting.
Hits it well the other way, but Francoeur runs it down. 1 away. Coming up on Saturday, we celebrate halfway to St. Paddy's Day, and the party begins at 4:30 in the Outfield Experience. You'll enjoy live Irish music from Flanagan's Right Hook, Green Draft Beer, and a sample of some of KC's best local Irish vendors. Plus, the first 20,000 fans will receive this green Royals cap presented by Commerce Bank. That is Saturday. A strike to A.J. Pierzynski. He is the White Sox DH tonight, and he singled his first time up, going the other way, singling to left. And now he cracked his bat and fouled it off of his foot. We remind you that Pepsi Max is proud to be the official soft drink of the Royals and the Fox Sports Kansas City broadcast booth. Look for Pepsi Max at your neighborhood Hy-Vee food store. Pepsi Max, 0 calories, maximum Pepsi taste. Pierzynski with a new bat, and he slams it into the right field corner. And he does so on an 0-2 pitch, thinking about third, but he'll hold with a 1-out double.
Well, that's what he's going to think about that one. I don't think he wants to try to force a triple with his speed. But you see that pitch right there, the pitch before, Jeff Francis gets a fastball in there and ties him up and breaks his bat, and he comes back with a changeup, and the changeup stayed inside, and he was able to take it and drive it down the right field line. And you see the ball go down in the corner. Francoeur goes in. He takes a look over his shoulder to kind of peek where the runner is, and that'll give him an idea of where he needs to throw the ball.
And now ball 1 to Viciedo. And Francis struck him out with a fastball in the second inning, really set him up well with changeups. Put him away with a fastball up. One and one.
I think one of the changes to pitching that I've noticed over the last couple of years is there was a time when right-handers didn't throw right-handers change-ups and lefties didn't throw lefties change-ups, and that's really reversed in the last few years. They will throw them, but you got to be able to make them do something.
Hit well, and Giavotella was able to find it as it went through the second base umpire, Greg Gibson, and he's able to throw out Viciedo with Pierzynski going to third.
Well, you're right, Ryan. There's a lot going on with this ball that's hit hard on the ground, and you can see Giavotella is just to the left of Gibson, and he jumps over the ball, and he's right there in front of it. So good concentration by Johnny Giavotella on that ground ball.
And now ball 1 to Tyler Flowers. It was a very impressive and a very graceful leap by Greg Gibson.
Out of fear.
Now he's just calm out and a little safer out in shallow center field than it is right behind the mound.
Well, you would worry about those umpires a lot when they're so close, and you know they make the first base, third base coaches wear helmets, but that umpire is sitting right in there. He's a lot closer than any of those coaches, so he's got to really be on his toes.
Tyler Flowers walked in the second inning, and then Salvador Perez picked him off at first. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Flowers was down 0-2 before he walked in the second, and now down 1 ball and 2 strikes. He has Pierzynski at third with 2 outs. Still 1-2. Tyler Flowers hit his first major league home run the last time the Royals faced the White Sox. That was back on August 13th. He hit it off of Lou Kochaver. And 2 years ago, Flowers got his first big league hit against the Royals. 2-2. Got him looking with a fastball. So the White Sox lead Kersinski at third. Question for tonight, we ask you, what was Melky Cabrera's best play so far? Against Seattle in April, this play against the Orioles in May, at Busch Stadium in St. Louis in June, and just 2 nights ago against the Minnesota Twins. Alcides Escobar, Alex Gordon, Melky Cabrera coming up in the 4th inning. So text 432-432. Enter keyword Royals. Then a space. A for the game against Seattle. B for Baltimore. C for St. Louis. D for Minnesota. It is 2-1 on Escobar. He flied to center field in the 2nd inning. You went with the play against the Twins a couple of nights ago. Escobar goes the other way. Leadoff single for Escobar in the 4th. Joel went with the catch in St. Louis. I'm kind of with you, Frank. I mean, there's Jeff Francoeur's play taking a home run away in Seattle, and Melky's. And we think it would have been a home run over the fence, but I thought his play against Danny Valencia a couple of nights ago, of all the ones we've seen, that was the most difficult play.
I agree with that. When you look how far he had to come to make the play.
Now Juan Pierre runs into left center field and runs down the drive from Alex Gordon. Alex has flied out 3 times and is 0 for 3. Fans aren't going for it, though, and you can't blame them. I mean, you get your glove over the wall and take a home run away, whether you're running and jumping at the same time or you're able to kind of plant yourself at the base of the wall and time it.
Yeah, we're not sure if that ball's going to be out of the ballpark or not, were we? On that one?
I don't know. Maybe we need to look at that June 18th catch again. You know, sometimes in a court case, the jury wants to see evidence again. Or they want to hear the testimony again. Maybe we need to look at that play in St. Louis and decide for ourselves, did this ball, would it have cleared the wall?
No.
Okay. Now that changes everything. I mean, it's a good play.
It's a good play,
It's
yes.
an extra base hit, no doubt. But we will no longer say it was a home run saving catch. Morel, nice play, throws from his knees, and he throws it into right field. So a good play, then a bad play. And there are runners at first and third with one out.
Well, that's a difficult play by Morel. He makes a nice stop on this play, and he's throwing down to Beckham at second base. So you got to make a decision at second base where he's already made a great play on this end, but this ball here cannot get by the second baseman. He's got to, once he sees that ball come out of the hand, he's got to let the base go and make sure he stops the ball and keep that runner from getting an extra 90 feet.
It's going to be scored a base hit because of the effort. It took Morel to glove it, and then an error on him, allowing Escobar to go to third. But, Frank, you're saying that that's as much Beckham's fault as it is Morel's fault.
Well, I think as an infielder, you have to realize when you got to give up on the runner, you got to make sure you stop the ball. That's number one, stop the ball. And Beckham had a chance to make that adjustment. He tried to stretch like a first baseman, but you got to be able to make sure you don't let that ball get into right field. And he's having a good year on defense. I mean, he's playing very well. .992 fielding percentage, only 5 errors on the year, but that was just more of a technical game awareness type situation there.
That's a wild pitch, allowing Cabrera to go to second. Escobar tagging, Viciedo the catch, and Escobar slams on the brakes. Melky Cabrera did not. And now Ramirez will run after Escobar. Escobar making it interesting. And it's Burley who tags him out. So the White Sox had to work for it, but they end up with a double play to end the inning. Fifth inning, and the Royals involved in quite a rundown to complete a double play in the bottom of the fourth, which involved just about everybody.
Everybody except the center fielder and the left fielder. What about that? I mean, too many throws for a play like that, and I think Escobar in the end just got exhausted and gave up. I don't think he expected to be in a rundown that long.
The scoring, by the way, was 9-2, 6-2, 5-3, 4-1. This one's much simpler. You can just write an 8 on your scorecard. As Brent Morrell is out on a line drive to center field, so he is 0 for 2. And really, even though Escobar got caught in the rundown, it was Melky Cabrera who didn't pick up that Escobar was not going to come to the plate. Escobar was at third. Cabrera was at second on the fly ball to right. Escobar took about 5 steps down the line, hit the brakes, and Melky Cabrera continued to go to second base, and that's where the play began.
Yeah, he's got to make sure that runner goes before he goes over. He's got plenty of time to go over to third if Escobar decides to score. But I think a lot of it is not knowing Diane Viciato's arm. I mean, I think that makes a big difference there, too.
So Melky was about 2/3 of the way to third base before he realized that Escobar had stopped.
I think everybody, I think Escobar, I think Eddie Rodriguez, and Melky Cabrera, I think all three didn't know the type of arm strength that Viciato had. And when he let that ball go, Escobar said, whoa, I got to hold up here. But Melky had committed way too early.
Beckham walks with 1 out, so he's on for the second time. 2 walks allowed by Jeff Francis tonight, making his final start of the year. He is now over 180 innings. 181 1/3 to be exact. And now the beginning of the third time through for the White Sox. Juan Pierre has tried to bunt his way on and grounded out to Navarro at third, and he has singled and stolen a base. 0-1. Juan Pierre got off to a very slow start this year and really struggled until about the middle of June, but he's got his average up to 285. Out at second, and no chance for a double play with Beckham's hard slide and Pierre's good speed. So 2 down and a runner at first. Every Thursday on FoxSportsKansasCity.com, we'll bring you the Farm Report. Jeffrey Flanagan checks in on the prospects in the Royals farm system. Head to FoxSportsKansasCity.com now for the Farm Report. Juan Pierre stealing second in the third inning, his 27th of the year. He had 68 stolen bases last year, leading the major leagues. He also led the major leagues 7 years before that. So he's been able to maintain his speed. But a big drop off this year. And a big drop off for the White Sox. They were one of the best base stealing teams in 2010, but they are 12th in the league this year. Another reason why they haven't played as well as they thought they were going to.
Well, just a combination of everything. When you start the season, you think you got the offense, the defense, and the pitching to make a run. But if the offense doesn't come through for you, then it's not going to help that pitching staff. And sooner or later, your pitching is not going to be there. And you get both of those out of sync, and before you know it, you're out of the race. One of those years, the White Sox got a lot of decisions to make. You know, they got some big contracts. They got guys who are underperforming on those big contracts, and they've got to make some decisions that going forward, what kind of team they want to have next year.
2 of their highest paid players, Adam Dunn, $12 million this year. He's hit 162 in 110 games. Alex Rios, who is over $12 million, is hitting just above 220, and Jake Peavy sitting next to Adam Dunn. He's also making big bucks, about $16 million. 7 wins, 7 losses. He is shut down now, and he's been on the disabled list twice. That's $40 million right there in 3 guys.
Yeah, and then you take a guy like Carlos Quentin. He's part of your offense, but just keeping him healthy has just been a chore for the White Sox.
Force at second base to get Juan Pierre. Royals lead 2-1 to the bottom of the 5th. And leading the White Sox this year in the season series, 6-5. So that leads us into our AT&T trivia question for tonight. How many times have the Royals won the season series against the White Sox since 1990? Fouled away by Eric Hosmer. I can tell you this. The Royals last won a season series in 2000. That was before Ozzie Guillen was manager. They went 7-5. Beckham throws high. It gets past Konerko, but backed up by Tyler Flowers. And it's an infield single for Eric Hosmer and his second hit of the night.
Beckham makes a nice backhand stop, but didn't really get his body turned enough before he let that throw go, and the ball ran down the line. And Konerko tried to hang on, but right off the top of his glove, you see. But you almost got to spin yourself where your body is facing directly at first base before you let that throw go.
10th hit for the Royals against Mark Burley, and Jeff Francoeur going for it all. He has walked and struck out tonight. His walk is his 37th, which is not an impressive number, but for him, he's still trying to get to his career high, which is 42 walks in a year. Got that one down around the end of the bat and flies out to Juan Pierre for the first out. Coming up on Sunday, grab your furry best friend and join us for Bark at the K, presented by Bear Animal Health. Packages include a human and canine ticket, doggy toy, and a donation to local animal shelters. There will be live pet adoptions, a pregame parade, and much more. For tickets and details, visit royals.com/bark. Mark Burley with that great move, and it's very difficult to get the running game going against him. Royals have not attempted a stolen base tonight. They lead the league, the Royals do, with 140 stolen bases this year. Viciedo got a good jump and runs down the Giavotella pop-up. 2 away. Good move, works quickly, an excellent fielder. He has won 2 Gold Gloves. And last year, I think it was last year on opening day, against the Cleveland Indians
Oh, boy.
in Chicago. Maybe made the best play by a pitcher I've ever seen.
I have to go along with that one.
When he first saved it with his foot, right, and then it rolled into foul territory. That ball came up and might have hit Morrell in the cap or maybe the chin. Yeah, got him on the side of the face. Well, he's hit with an error after a bad hop.
But now he had some good top spin on it. It just went straight up his arm. And it's really a ball that is catchable if he kind of set his feet a little too soon, and then you do that, the ball plays you. Came off the heel of his glove and just went right up to his face. And he stayed with it, but just wasn't able to make an accurate throw to first base.
And it's his second error in the last 2 innings. So anyway, against the Indians, Burley with a ground ball stuck his foot out, and it rolled across the first base line, and just running with his glove and his back to first base, just put his glove on the ball, which was on the ground, flipped it to Konerko, who grabbed it with his bare hand out of the sky.
I'm thinking he may have flipped it between his legs.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
It was a heck of a play.
That's right. Not only just flipped it, but flipped it through his legs. Yamaiko Navarro has flied to left, grounded out to short. 3 balls and 1 strike. Navarro is 0 for his last 9. Did not appear in the Minnesota series. And that's hit well into left field. Hosmer will be waved home. And the Royals take a 3-1 lead. So because of the error, the Royals get an extra out and add a run.
Well, he really tomahawked this fastball into left field. Just a hard ball on the ground. Hosmer make a good turn at third base. He's been waved by Rodriguez all the way in. The home plate scores easily. Pierre doesn't have that strong a throwing arm in left field. Well, when you look at the 11 hits that the Royals have on the board and only 3 runs, so it tells you they've had plenty of opportunity to break this game wide open, but Mark Burley's hanging in there and getting the outs when he needed.
Royals stranded 7 runners in the first 4 innings. Escobar has singled and flied out, involved in that long rundown to end the bottom of the 4th inning. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Escobar really turned his season around from the 203 batting average when he got really hot. He kind of leveled off between 250, 260, but he got 17 sacrifice bunts. He's got 7 triples, and as he starts to mature and fill out, he's probably going to get a little stronger, and he may be making a case down the road for maybe a number 2 hitter.
Alexei Ramirez will flip to Beckham. That's the inning. The Royals get an unearned run to take a 2-run lead. Hey, Hoops fans, the Progressive CBE Classic is back in Kansas City, so come to Sprint Center to see Mizzou take on Notre Dame, Cal, and Georgia. It begins on November 21st, followed by the championship doubleheader on November 22nd. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Jeff Francis into the 6th inning. He has thrown 80 pitches. A strike to Paul Konerko. Konerko has grounded into a double play, which began with a ground ball to third and then grounded out to third base again in the third. Royals scored 2 in the first. Melky Cabrera homered. Salvador Perez singled in a run. The White Sox got their run in the third. Alexi Ramirez with a sac fly. And the Royals just got an RBI base hit from Navarro in the 5th. And now Paul Konerko begins the 6th inning with his first hit. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Alex Rios into center field. He's had pretty good swings tonight, but just 1 for 3 with that base hit. 2 on, nobody out for the White Sox in the 6th.
Jeff Francis has been victimized by his off speed so far. A big curveball to Konerko that he took to right field, and another changeup right there that went for a base hit. So just getting the ball back down in the zone, and that pitches up so far has hurt him in this inning.
A.J. Pierzynski is 2 out of 2 against Jeff Francis. Across the knees for strike 1. Pierzynski went the other way and singled to left in the 2nd and then pulled a double up the right field line in the 4th. One and one. Just a little bit outside. Perez tried to frame it, as they say, pull it back in and make that pitch look a little more attractive to home plate umpire Todd Tishner. Ground ball, base hit into right field. Konerko doesn't run well at all, so he'll move up 90 feet, and now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And what else is new? A.J. Pierzynski is 3 for 3 against the Royals.
And again, he picked on an off-speed pitch from Jeff Francis up in the zone. He's kind of gone away from his fastball early. The fastball inside was an effective pitch for him this inning. The off-speed pitches up in the zone has hurt him on all 3 of these base hits. So we just look at location, look at height. And you see where Salvador Perez is sitting up, down, and away, and you see exactly where this pitch is, right in the middle of the plate up. And Pierzynski pulls it into right field for a base hit. I mean, fastball, it might be a little different when it's a changeup. You control that pitch a lot better when you're trying to hit it.
Yeah, I've never understood why a situation like this, bases loaded, nobody out, and a hitter decides in his mind before he gets to the plate that he's going to take the first pitch. I mean, look at where that pitch is right there.
Well, I agree with you. I mean, you got to look to hit. I mean, you've gotten 3 consecutive base hits, so you can't go up there looking to take the first pitch fastball. You've already been up there a couple times already, so you should have an idea of what's going on. So I agree with you. I'd never take the first pitch fastball.
Well, like you said, I mean, he has seen Francis twice already tonight. And then he takes a swipe at that pitch. Konerko at the bag, but not going anywhere. One away. So good fortune for the Royals, but go back and look at that approach. I mean, you can't dictate when you're going to get the best pitch in an at bat.
You got to be ready to hit, and that first pitch was a great pitch for Viciedo to hit. I mean, he takes a little check swing at a breaking ball, and that pitch with a fastball was up in the zone and got in on him a little bit. That's why I say you can't be afraid to throw your fastball. I mean, your fastball is going to be your best pitch to get you out of a jam if you can spot it. And when you see Francis for the third time through, you know, your experienced guys, they're gonna try to take that slow stuff away from you and try to force you to throw fastball. So you leave your changeup and your curveball up over the zone, and they're gonna be ready to hit it.
And it's not just taking a pitch, but we say in the game, taking all the way. And what that means is that the hitter had no intention of swinging at all. It's not that he didn't like the pitch and he would have swung, but he just didn't like it, so he took it. You can tell he's just standing there like a statue with no intention to swing the bat.
Well, this is what you're talking about right here. Bases loaded. I mean, my goodness, what are you waiting on? Well in off the plate, up on his hand, and just a lazy fly ball to left field. Not deep enough to do any damage at all.
2 balls and 1 strike to Tyler Flowers. Francis trying to get out of a bases loaded, nobody out. You got Viciedo on a fly ball to left. Not deep enough for the runners to attempt to tag. Flowers has walked, and he is struck out.
Yeah, Jeff's got enough fastball. It's all about location on it. He saw he'll chase the fastball up. They'll stay right there with the fastball. I mean, you shouldn't have to even try to change right now. You got 2 fastballs in the same zone. He drew no iron on the ball at all. So just go back up there again. See if he'll chase another one. Don't try to change until he make you change.
And that's hit into right field, and Francoeur getting behind it. And he will play it to third. Rios will advance, so a sac fly gets Konerko to the plate, and it is 3-2, Royals leading.
Okay, we'll go back and look at the last 3 pitches to Flowers. I mean, this is where that's a good pitch off on the outer half, up a little bit. Then this pitch is supposed to be inside, but he goes back there by mistake and gets it. And then there you go, right there. He changed up. You know, you don't want to go away from what's working.
So first and third to Brent Morrell. And he takes inside, ball 1. Tough night for Morrell. A ground out and a fly out. And he has committed 2 errors on defense. He has Rios at third, Pierzynski at first. Wow. 2-0. Salvador Perez having a conversation with Todd Tishner, turning his head toward his left shoulder, so there was some sort of exchange of words. That's a strike. Todd Tishner, by the way, grew up a Royals fan. He is from Garden City, Kansas, now lives in Holcomb, which is west on 50 Highway from Garden City. Two balls and 2 strikes. Todd Tishner now has on his record, he has well, I don't know, what kind of word do I want to use this? He's renowned, notorious, infamous, whatever, for ejecting the oldest manager in a game. On August 24th, he ejected Jack McKeon, who is 80 years old, and that's the oldest that a manager has been being ejected in a game. And when I read about it, I had to see it on the internet for myself, and Todd Tichenor was the first base umpire, and he took quite a bit from Jack McKeon from the dugout and finally just had to do something about it. But who wants to throw an 80-year-old man out of a game? Bases loaded, nobody out. The White Sox get one. So good job of pitching out of it by Francis. Royals lead by 1.
Well, the Royals have a 3-2 lead over the White Sox as we go into our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant tonight is Catherine Shade from McLouth, Kansas. If the Royals hit a home run this inning, Catherine will win $1,100. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Catherine will win $25,000 from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals.
It'll be the top of the order. Alex Gordon, Melky Cabrera, and Billy Butler against Mark Burley. We were talking about Todd Tichenor and ejecting Jack McKeon. Connie Mack lived into his mid-90s, but he was 87 his final year as manager, but he was never ejected in his 80s. Casey Stengel at the age of 74 was the oldest manager to be ejected until Todd Tichenor was forced to throw out 80-year-old Jack McKeon last month in Miami.
I wonder how tough it was to get ejected back in Connie Mack days. I mean, he had the white shirt and tie.
Not a very good start for Burley. It's only his second walk, but leadoff man on in a one-run game in the 6th inning. Only thrown 81 pitches, and now Melky Cabrera comes to the plate. He's 3 for 3. He's also the subject of our You Call It question for tonight. What is Melky's best catch of the year? Hey, Frank, making a little comeback here. That play a couple of nights ago against Minnesota. We have the burden of proof. And we had to show you that Melky did not take a home run away from Lance Berkman in June. It was a good catch.
Good catch. Good catch.
But not a home run.
It goes back to the degree of difficulty.
Not quite.
He still had another step.
Melky Cabrera is 4 for 4 against Mark Burley, and this will put runners at second and third with nobody out. Melky was already a .565 hitter against Burley. 4 for 4 tonight. He is 17 out of 27 against Mark Burley.
Another step. I mean, it doesn't matter what Mark Burley throws up there. This is a curveball here, and he stays right with it, hit it right the way he's supposed to. He hit it the right center field. Didn't try to pull it to hit it on the ground, and was able to split the outfielders over there and got himself a double. Rios gets the ball back in.
So there's the double. There's the .630 batting average against Mark Burley. And now we can say the Royals are the first team in Major League history to have 3 outfielders in the same year with at least 40 doubles apiece. We thought that happened a couple of days ago, but Melky was actually the designated hitter when he got his 40th double. But it was his 39th as an outfielder. He also had a double as the DH. Picky. Deep left center field. Rios is back. Butler hits a 3-run home run.
Well, Ryman got a Sonic Slam winner tonight. Catherine Shade from McLeod, Kansas. Hopefully she's watching the game tonight. She just won $1,100 courtesy of Billy Butler. Congratulations, Catherine.
Was somebody barking in the dugout? Did you hear that?
I heard it.
Mark Burley now, in his last 3 starts, has given up 7 runs, and now 6 runs. Way inside to Eric Hosmer, 2 balls and 1 strike. Billy Butler's 19th home run of the year. RBIs 86, 87, and 88. Grounded to first. Canerico will get it over to Burley, and that's the first out of the inning. Picky. Deep left center field. Rios is back. 3 runs.
Well, there was no doubt about that home run in left center field. I thought we'd get the dog bark.
Old foul by Francoeur.
Then when you look on the board and you saw the Royals had 11 hits and only 3 runs, they just, Burley's been kind of teetering on the edge, and the Royals weren't able to get the big hit early, but right there, it was just a matter of time before that hit came, and Billy Butler delivered that 3-run homer.
Chop to Alexei Ramirez. Francoeur is out, 2 away. This week on Fox NFL Sunday, the Bears look to build off their Week 1 win and stay undefeated as they head to New Orleans to take on the Saints. The Saints team trying to bounce back from a tough loss, or the Cowboys battle the 49ers in San Francisco. Coverage begins this week with the Built Ford Tough Fox NFL pregame show at 11 a.m. Giavotella, left center field. Pierre is there, and that's the inning. The Royals get 3 on the Butler home run and lead by 4. Taste greatness moment.
This is Melky Cabrera's ninth so far against the White Sox. He's got 4 hits total, and that those hits include a home run in the first, and there's a single to the left field in the second. There was a base hit in the infield there, and then he gets this double right here to give him 4 hits on the night. So right now he's just having a great night. Also got his 40th double tonight.
Jeff Francis with 102 pitches comes out, gives up 2 runs in 6 innings, and a Chevy call to the bullpen brings in Lewis Coleman. So Francis, in his final start of the year, goes 102 pitches, even though he's gone 110 or more 3 times this year, and it is his final start of the year. I think he could have gone back out there for the 7th. At least made 1 pitch.
I think Ned Yost was worried about what he saw in the 6th. I mean, he had a tough sixth inning. I think he was worried about where he was going from there.
He finished strong though in the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. He got 3 fly balls. Got the number 9 hitter coming up, who's hitting 230. Well, he's just starting to hit his stride.
It's the stress level. The stress level was real high in the 6th inning, so he might not be able to recover from that. You know, I'm sorry you didn't win the Hot Watch. You know, I know that plays a big part in that.
Yeah.
But well, I don't think I'm going to win either tonight.
Now Francis could have done that, right? And then you bring in Coleman.
You got to be a left-handed hitter first.
I was the only guy who thought Jeff Francis would go 7 innings. The only one who picked that on the Hot Watch.
You're a trooper. You almost got it though. That 6th inning killed you though, right?
Yeah, 3 straight hits.
But you won yesterday, and we gave you one yesterday that you didn't want.
Yesterday was yesterday, Frank. Come on, you know that. You don't think about yesterday's success. You think about your next day's success.
But this game pays you on what you did yesterday.
Well. Melky in center field makes the catch. So Coleman has gotten Beckham and Pierre. We'll answer our AT&T trivia question. How many times have the Royals won the season series with the White Sox since 1990?
I'm going to say 4.
I'm going to say 3. You don't get any points for that, though. See, I would have taken being wrong on that, and Francis throwing 1 pitch in the 7th inning.
You would have rather had the Hot Watch.
Yeah.
I like the trivia.
Well, he pitched very well. Finishing strong, 2 runs, 8 hits, 6 innings, leaving with a nice big lead in his final start of the year. So he'll go 183 innings this year. And the Royals trying to send him out a winner.
Would you rather be right on fact, or would you rather be right on a hunch?
On a hunch.
That's what the Hot Watch is?
Yeah.
That's a hunch? I like to be right on facts.
3 balls and 1 strike. Yeah, but when you're playing, you have to go on hunches. You don't know what's going to happen in the game. So, you know, when you're at second base, if you took a step toward the middle because you thought the guy might hit it up the middle, you didn't know for a fact he was going to hit it there. You went on a hunch.
Well, what I did when I played defense, I always played the hitter's strength and what he did the majority of the time. So what he did other than that, I didn't worry about. I just looked at all the areas where he hits the ball, where the mass of the balls are that he hits. That's where I play, and I just let all the other stuff take care of themselves, like the check swings and the jam shots, and I just wanted to take away what he did the majority of the time. So
you played on a hunch.
So there was no hunch. It was all fact. It was all written down for me to see.
Canerco very high on the right side. Hosmer calls out Perez, and it's off his glove. So he overran it.
And that's the first pop-up we've seen him drop all year. But the difference is when you get down in that area where that pop-up is, you know, at catchers, the reason they turn their back to the ball is because the ball's going to go back toward the infield. And see right here, he gets under it, and you can see Perez, he realizes the ball's going to go back. And you see him already starting back, but Hosmer's already called him off with this ball because he knows how the ball's going to go. He's used to catching them back in there. That's a lot deeper than first baseman usually come to try to catch pop-ups.
And Hosmer will be charged with an error. Canerco singled leading off that 6th inning when the White Sox had the bases loaded and nobody out, and scored on the sac fly that made it a 3-2 game. And then Billy Butler hit a 3-run home run that is just foul outside of third base. Royals did that to the Minnesota Twins quite a bit in the 2-game series when Minnesota would score, and that was only yesterday because the Royals shut out the Twins on Tuesday. But when the Twins would score, the Royals came right back and they scored. Just would not let the Twins back into the game. Two and two. Royals starters now in the last 5 games have pitched 32 innings and have given up 6 earned runs. Royals are trying to win 5 in a row for the first time this year, and now it's 3-2 on Canerco. 5 times this season the Royals have won 4 in a row. Royals won the final 2 games in Seattle. The 2 games against Minnesota. Now leads 6-2 tonight in the 7th inning. Ramirez runs, and it's hit into right center field where Cabrera runs it down, and Lewis Coleman pitches a scoreless 7th. Taco Bell is helping Boys and Girls Club teens go to college with the Graduate to Go program. Log on to graduatetogo.com to learn more. Salvador Perez, Yamaiko Navarro, Alcides Escobar against Mark Burley, who hangs in there trying to give the White Sox 7 innings. He has allowed 6 runs on 13 hits. And now in his last 3 starts, Burley has given up 20 runs in 15 innings. Shallow right field. Beckham out from second. Diving play. It's off his glove and up against the wall. And here's Salvador Perez all the way to third base with a triple. Triple off the second baseman's glove.
Well, when you watch Salvador Perez, your first thought would be he's a base clogger, but he goes down and he just does a good job just putting a bat on this ball. And he didn't sit there and watch it. He started running out of the box, and when he saw this ball go off Beckham's glove, but you can see he was extended as far as he could on this ball, and just a little pop down the line. Go ahead and Beckham dives, goes right off the end of his glove, and that's when you see Perez said, okay, I'm not a base clogger. Actually, I can get to third base on here. And, I mean, he just really turns it on, and he's moving out pretty good right there.
And in with a head-first slide.
Just a baby.
Two balls and no strikes to Yamaiko Navarro. So if Navarro can get Perez to the plate, that would be 3 straight starts where Burley has allowed 7 runs apiece.
Yeah, Salvador's mom's got to be feeling pretty good right now.
3 balls, 1 strike. Burley is over 100 pitches now. Not quite what you're hoping for with the count 3 balls and 1 strike. So Navarro helping out Burley, and now 3-2. The Royals are hosting the 8th annual coat drive prior to the Friday and Saturday games of this series. Royals wives and community volunteers will collect gently used coats in all sizes 1 hour before Friday and Saturday's games at the Diamond Club. Line to center. Perez to the plate. He will score, and the Royals lead 7-2. That's Navarro's second RBI tonight.
You can see where Rios is playing in center field, and you can see that this is the path the ball is going to take. And then when it comes back up the third base line. The guy hits a line drive. Alex Rios goes over, and you can see there this ball just really right out of his hand.
Now a line shot off of Burley. If his night hasn't been painful enough. Second hit for Alcides Escobar.
That's scary right there. And Burley's one of the better fielding the balls to his glove side, so that helps a little bit. The ball got off his shoulder.
So Escobar literally knocks Mark Burley out of the game. So he leaves with his left arm hanging. So a Chevy call to the bullpen, and it'll be Jason Frazier coming on for the White Sox.
Not yet.
look at Mark Burley's last 3 starts. 7 earned runs and 3 1/3 innings, back-to-back starts against the Tigers and the Indians. He's able to go 6 1/3 tonight, but 7 runs again. He's still responsible for Alcides Escobar at first base with 1 out. So he had the team record 18 straight starts where he gave up 3 runs or less, and now 3 in a row where he's given up at least 7. So Jason Frazier takes over. Traded over from the Toronto Blue Jays in the same deal that sent Mark Teahan to Toronto. He inherits Escobar at first and will pitch to Alex Gordon.
Well, it's hard to say what make a guy like Burley, give up that many hits in consecutive games, other than the fact that he's around the plate. But you also look at the defense of the White Sox and the extra outs that he's got to pitch, and that doesn't help a pitcher either. And I think that's his trademark, is put the ball in play and let the defense make the plays. And I don't think the White Sox overall have played a very good defensive game behind him tonight.
And they've had a decent year on defense this year. As far as errors go, they've made the second fewest errors in the American League, but 2 tonight, both by third baseman Brent Morrell. Alex hitless so far. He has 3 flyouts and a walk and a run scored. Scored on Billy Butler's 3-run home run in the 6th. Two and 1. Fan made a nice catch in the upper deck off of third. Barehanded. That's an area where I don't think you necessarily expect a foul ball. You had to come out of the blanket to make the catch. That's the first catch made all year by a guy with a green hat.
It might get some Saturday night.
It's the most hits Mark Burley has ever allowed to the Royals in a game. 15. He had a game in 08 where he allowed 14 hits. This was his 51st career appearance against the Royals and 49th start. Ozzie Guillen saying after the White Sox lost to the Tigers yesterday that the way the White Sox are playing was embarrassing, and felt that the team had lost its fight. Frazier comes on and walks Alex Gordon. Alex's second walk tonight. So 2 on with 1 out. And Melky Cabrera, who is 4 for 4 tonight, and now hitting .630 in his career against Mark Burley. Now Herm Schneider comes out again, longtime White Sox trainer, along with Ozzie Guillen, to check on Jason Frazier, who apparently is going to tell everybody that he's fine, but somebody in the dugout saw something they didn't like. It's also a way to stay warm tonight. Just call time, run out to the mound, keep the blood flowing, keep the joints loose.
And Frazier, he looked so surprised,
And he just kind of turned away in frustration, and maybe the White Sox took that as if he had injured himself. Blocked by Flowers. Ball 1 to Melky. Melky, by the way, with a triple, could hit for the cycle. He homered in the first, singled in the second, and 4th innings, and he doubled in the 6th. One and one. Two balls and 1 strike. Salvador Perez is a home run shy of hitting for the cycle.
I think Salvador got the tough one out of the way when he got the triple. I think that would have been the toughest one right there.
Dropped the left field line and out of play. So 21 years. Last time a Royal hit for the cycle. George Brett at then brand new Sky Dome in Toronto. This is nothing new for Melky this year. He was already hitting .367 against the White Sox before going 4 for 4 tonight. Three balls, 2 strikes. Jason Frazier, a 33rd round draft pick of the Tigers in 1999. Good arm, but not very big. Listed at 5'9". Also had Tommy John surgery in college, so that scared away some of the scouts. He is from Chicago, so he was traded back home. And he strikes out Melky. 2 down. Don't forget to visit the official online shop of the Royals at Royals.com for the largest online selection of official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get ready for fall with the latest sweatshirts and outerwear for the whole family. Go online today and browse the newest styles. Shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Very high to right center field. And Alex Rios is there. The Royals add to their lead. And at the end of 7, Royals lead 7-2. Will take us around the American League. Tampa Bay in the rain, winning at Boston 9-1 in the top of the ninth. Texas in front of Cleveland 6-1. Detroit and Oakland just getting underway out on the West Coast. Tigers with a 12-game winning streak and a 13.5-game lead over Cleveland and Chicago entering play today. Well, there you go. There's a politically correct Kansas City fan. You have a KU Jayhawks sweatshirt and a Tiger hat. That is a foul ball off the knob of the bat, or was it a hit batter? Well, I thought Todd Tishner put his hands in the air as if to say that was a foul ball, but he was saying dead ball. And Rios hit by the pitch. The Royals don't appear to be convinced. Boy, that's very close to the knob of the bat.
I've seen a lot of guys get hit on the hand and they react a little more than what you saw right there. So that might be one of those ones where the combination of hand and knob at the same time.
And now Nick Kenny out to check on Lewis Coleman.
Well, you really don't see Lewis throw balls up and in very often like that. I guess everybody's seeing things tonight with their pitchers.
Well, it's been a long time since the Royals and I assume the White Sox have played in temperatures in the 50s. So you're seeing some guys moving around a little differently, trying to deal with the cold. It's not uncomfortably cold, but especially after the hot summer that we have, it is, I mean, 56 degrees. The Royals played a game here where it was 50 degrees hotter than that.
Mm-hmm.
Over 17,000 here tonight to watch game one between the Royals and the White Sox. Two balls and one strike to A.J. Pierzynski, who is 3 out of 3.
There have been good crowds on the homestand so far. Last homestand and last chance for the fans to really get a good look at these young guys before the winter. And the better they play, the more optimism they take into 2012.
Popped up. Escobar wants it behind the mound. 1 out. Pierzynski retired for the first time tonight. And now Coleman will get Diane Viciedo. He is 0 for 3. So the Royals trying to win 5 in a row. To this point in the last 5 games, they have only allowed 8 runs. So as we start to look ahead to 2012, and the Royals' emphasis on improving the starting pitching staff, the starters are finishing strong. Told you earlier, if you add in Jeff Francis' effort tonight, Royal starters in the last 5 games have pitched 32 innings and have only given up 6 earned runs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Josh Kinney getting ready for the bottom of the 8th. Hit to right field. Francoeur was shallow, so he has to hustle back, but he's there. And there are 2 outs. And it brings up Tyler Flowers, who has walked, struck out. He has hit a sacrifice fly, and he's been picked off of first base by Salvador Perez. Flowers has one hit in his last 19 at-bats, batting at .207.
You can see when you watch him swing, especially on the ball away, the swing he's just a little bit long and not able to catch it with that fastball. And I think Viciedo, those are just adjustments they're going to have to make as hitters. Is up here, you got to figure out a way to shorten your swing to get to the ball a little easier.
Did you see that catch? A multitasking fan. Beer in the right hand, souvenir in the left hand.
And didn't spill any beer.
Not a drop. Coleman strikes out Flowers. Well, the White Sox are down in the 8th inning. Royals lead by 5.
At Kauffman Stadium, where the Royals lead the White Sox 7-2. After the game on Boulevard Royals Live, Jeff Montgomery and I will break down Jeff Francis's final start of the year. The Royals offense at it again, double-digit hits and the most hits ever by a Major League team against Mark Burley. We'll have highlights, reaction, and analysis coming up after the game on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
Okay, thank you, Joel. Looking forward to that. And looking forward to seeing if the Royals can win 5 in a row for the first time this year. Josh Kinney will pitch the bottom of the 8th. He has a fascinating story. He pitched at Quincy University in Illinois, but he was not drafted out of college, so he went and played in one of those independent leagues, the Frontier League. And then the Cardinals signed him in 2001 out of the Frontier League, and he ended up getting to the big leagues. The first pitch of his major league career, when he got to the big leagues with the Cardinals in 2006, he gave up a home run. So you ask yourself then, is it worth it? Spending those years in the independent leagues, you get to the big leagues, and pitch number 1 is hit out of the ballpark. I would say it's worth it.
Oh, always. Anytime you can put a big league uniform on and step across those white lines, it's always worth it. The outcome might not be what you would like to see, but to be able to say you were there and you did it, that's huge.
Had a couple of elbow surgeries along the way after signing, including the Tommy John reconstructive surgery on his right arm. One ball, 2 strikes on Eric Hosmer. Josh Kinney, first year with the White Sox, in relief of Jason Frazier, who got the final 2 outs of the 7th. Pulled on the ground to Beckham. And Eric Hosmer is 2 for 5. And it'll bring up Jeff Francoeur. Mark Burley, 6 1/3 innings, gave up all 7 runs, and as Joel just told us, his 15 hits allowed. That's the most he's ever had in a big league game. Deep third and foul, 0-1. Before that, his career high hits allowed was 14, and that was also against the Royals back in 2008. Francoeur walked in the first inning, his 37th walk of the year, so he's 5 away from his career high. 11 more games for the Royals after tonight. And that's hit well to left center field. Juan Pierre won't get there, and it's off the wall. Rios will play it back to the infield. 45 doubles for Jeff Francoeur, and that ties him once again for the league lead with Alex Gordon and with Ben Zobrist of the Tampa Bay Rays.
The one thing we know about Jeff Francoeur, you slow the ball down out over the plate, he's got a chance to really hit it. And this curveball's right in the middle of the plate, and he drives this ball all the way to the base of the left center field wall. And that's going to be an easy double for Francoeur.
And now 0-1 on Johnny Giavotella. Giavotella with a first inning single. He is 1 for 4. Woo. 0-2. Tomorrow night, Felipe Paulino will go for the Royals. And Philip Umber, who's had a nice year for the White Sox, pitched last year for the Royals. In fact, he got his first major league win while pitching for the Royals last year. A 7:10 game tomorrow. Hy-Vee Royals Live is at 6:30. Tomorrow is the final Fireworks Friday of the year. It's also Futures Night with Royals top prospects signing autographs before the game. Just outside, and it's 2-2.
That's always an exciting night for those guys out of the minor leagues who have those great years down there, and player of the year, pitcher of the year, and have an opportunity to come to Kansas City and not only do things around the ballpark, but they normally make a visit to Children's Mercy Hospital and just kind of see a little bit about what big league players are asked to do when they get to this level. So it's always a good day for those guys.
First strikeout for Kinney. Well, Melky Cabrera had a chance to hit for the cycle. If he would have tripled in the 7th inning, he struck out. And now Salvador Perez, all he needs is a home run to complete the cycle.
Well, getting that triple line, here it is right here. I mean, that is really the toughest one for any hitter. And he's got that one out of the way, so now he just got to get the right pitch, put the right swing on it, and he's in the books.
Ball one outside. Perez is hitting .318. Two balls and no strikes. Three and 0. Give him the green light. I mean, the kid's going for the cycle, Frank. I know it's not by the book, but
well, if
his mom's here from Venezuela, for crying out loud.
If he trusts him to be selective enough on this pitch, yeah. If not, no.
Oh. Well, fans
well, he could have swung at it anyway and missed it on purpose and got himself another pitch.
Some of the fans aware that he only needed a home run. Only needed a home run, I say. We're booing ball 4.
I mean, it's such an exciting thing as a hitter to get accomplished, and you only hope that a lot of guys, before they're done playing the game, have an opportunity to do that.
And now Navarro, who is a double, triple, and a home run shy of hitting for the cycle. And he takes a fastball for a strike.
I would bet that he did have the hit sign in that situation. He didn't look like he was trying to take.
One and one.
Probably a more experienced hitter probably would have tried to swing at that pitch and just to get another pitch.
Give himself a chance. One and two.
I think we were in Seattle and Miguel Olivo had an opportunity to hit for the cycle, and the crowd was really into that one.
And he just needed a single.
He just needed a single.
And he had 2 shots at it. Got the first 3 hits in his first 3 at-bats. Still 1 and 2. Who was the last player to hit for the cycle against the Royals? I believe I've seen the last 2. My first year in '99, it was against the White Sox. You were coaching. Chris Singleton hit for the cycle as a rookie. And then, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, Jeff DeVannen hit for the cycle in Anaheim playing for the Angels. And I believe that was the last time somebody has hit for the cycle against the Royals.
Jeff DeVannen.
Jeff DeVannen. Lays off the slider, 2-2. Started to swing and went around. Navarro doesn't think so, and throws his bat and helmet toward home plate. And we'll take a look at tonight's Chevy play of the game.
This play came back in the 6th inning, built off the bat of Billy Butler. And it's a 3-run homer in the left center field, and that 3-run homer gave the Royals a little bit of breathing room in this ball game against Mark Berlin.
Turned a 3-2 Royals lead into a 6-2 Royals lead, and then the Royals added another run in the 7th. And in the 9th, it'll be Aaron Crow after 2 scoreless innings from Lewis Coleman. Jeff Francis gave up 2 runs in 6 innings in his last start of the year. And Aaron Crow will get Brent Morrell, the number 8 hitter, Gordon Beckham, and Juan Pierre. Joakim Soria, we found out after the game yesterday, did not come on for the save. It was Greg Holland. Soria's got a little bit of a tight hamstring, and he is sitting next to Brian Pena and Danny Duffy in the Royals dugout. That's not out of the bullpen, so apparently he was not available again tonight.
Well, you're right. He wouldn't be sitting where he's sitting, that's for sure.
Over the mound, Escobar gets a big hop. That would have been a double play if there was a runner at first, because he had to step on second just to make the play. And Morrell is 0 for 4.
Yeah, when you look at, I mean, that's like knowing exactly where the base is, hitting it right in the center. If you're going to step on it, that's where you want to step on it, and he finishes the play off. And really looking forward to seeing him get better as the years go by. I think he's going to be he's just going to get better and better.
Gordon Beckham has doubled, walked, and struck out. He has scored 1 of the 2 runs. 2 balls and no strikes. Disappointing year for Beckham, hitting at .229. Three and 0. Three and 1. And a 1-out walk. So again tomorrow night, Felipe Paulino, Phil Umber. It is the final Fireworks Friday of the night. Hy-Vee Royals Live begins at 6:30, and the first pitch is at 7:10. That'll be the last televised game of this series. No TV Saturday and Sunday. Royals have Monday off, and then a 2-game series against the Tigers beginning on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then that's the end of the Royals' home portion of the 2011 schedule. Juan Pierre 1 for 4 with a stolen base. 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 2. So we got a pitcher here with strikeout stuff, and Aaron Crow, 62 strikeouts in 59 2/3 innings against a hitter who is the most difficult to strike out in the league, and down he goes, striking out about once every 18 at bats.
That was an outstanding slider right there by Aaron Crow. We just threw it in a tough place for Juan Pierre. I mean, just right on his hands, and you can tell by the way he swung the bat. He thought the ball was going to be inside. I mean, that is.
We didn't do the list this year, but
I mean, just seeing his facial expression when he went to swing at that pitch is almost like, get this pitch off of me, you know, just a very good slider.
Alexei Ramirez has an infield single, a sac fly, and a walk. One and 1. So the Royals 1 out away from winning 5 in a row. The White Sox 1 out away from losing 5 in a row. One ball, 2 strikes. The White Sox on August 30th were 5 games back and really thought they had a shot. And then that's when things started to fall to pieces. They went 5-10. And then the Tigers went on to win 12 in a row. So in a little more than 2 weeks, they went from 5 games back to 13 and a half. Line to right, Francoeur coming up throwing. He didn't quite do it again. And Ramirez says, "What the heck, man?" To which Francoeur says, "Didn't you see the highlight shows last week?"
Well, the guys just got to run. I mean, there's no rules say I can't throw you out at first base. I'm not going to just give it to you. I mean, he doesn't go running away, running out of the box right away. And, hey, you got to play the game. And Jeff Francoeur and Eric Hosmer playing the game, and Alexi Ramirez has got to be able to get out of that box and get down the line. That would have been just too sweet.
I mean, you ought to know by now, if you hit a line drive on one hop to Jeff Francoeur, you better go running up that line. Caught by Navarro. So the game ends on a diving play at third, and the Royals, for the first time since September of 2009, have won 5 games in a row. Jeff Francis, in his final start of the year, goes 6 very good innings, gives up only 2 runs, 3 scoreless innings from the bullpen. And the Royals begin this 4-game series with the White Sox with a 7-2 win.
Well, they came out swinging the bats really well right from the start against Burley. Got a lot of hits, put a lot of men on base, and really didn't get things going offensively to break this game open until Billy Butler's 3-run homer in the 6th inning. And once they got some breathing room, things got a little bit better for the Royals overall.
It's been good for the Royals in all facets of the game, but especially pitching. The starting pitchers in the last 5 have gone 32 innings and have only given up 6 earned runs. So a good combination of offense and defense. And when you're talking about offense and defense, you might think about Royals catcher Salvador Perez, and he's standing by with Joel.
All right, a very happy Salvador Perez as the Royals win it here at Kauffman Stadium. And Salvador has a special guest here, too. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you had a chance to hit for the cycle. Everybody's waiting for you to hit the home run, and you took a walk. Were you thinking about the cycle?
The pitcher know about that. He told me, "Oh, 4 ball. All right, go first base." I don't want you to give me a cycle to me.
So he didn't want to give you the cycle.
I don't want to give you the cycle.
Thinking maybe you could swing and miss at one just to get another chance at a home run.
The first base, the third base coach, he said, "Take one. Don't worry about the thing." Yeah.
We wanted that cycle. It's been a lot of years since there's been one here. Now you had a big play. Pickoff at first base. Tell me about that play.
Hosman know about that play. I got side with him. If the guy go too much lead, I go with him.
So Hosmer saw it coming. He snuck in there, and you threw.
He got side with me. He got side.
I got to ask you, I mean, you now have 3 of those pickoffs this year. We know you can throw. You also had a triple today. So what's more exciting to you, a triple as a catcher or a pickoff play?
A triple. a triple more.
You don't get those every single day. All right, 2 final questions. Kid from Venezuela playing in the cold here. Are you okay with the cold?
I came with the cold. Yeah, this is nothing. It's good. I feel good.
You're okay. Final thing, you have a special guest here. Your mom is in from Venezuela. She's up there somewhere, I think. She's all the way up there. All right. So how about a message in Spanish, and then maybe you could translate for us in English for your mom.
Te amo mucho, mamá. Gracias por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí. Te amo mucho. I love my mom so much. Thank you. Gracias.
Salvador Perez and his mom upstairs waving. Salvador, great job tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
All right, Salvador Perez, our star of the game, the single, the double, the triple, and then that walk at the end, Ryan, in front of Mom.
And she raised him all by herself since he was 4 years old. So proud to see her son fulfill his dream, and he had a big night tonight, picking off a runner at first base, and then at the plate, a 3-hit game. Royals beat the White Sox 7-2. We'll be right back.